President Donald Trump has said he is going to put both the President Zelensky and Putin at the negotiating table and ask them to negotiate. What he hasn't said is to negotiate in good faith, which Russia will not do because right now that war has moved from a stalemate to in Russia's favor at this point, especially with North Korean troops moving into Kursk. If you know anything, I don't know how much you guys. I don't remember how much you guys have talked about that the Kursk counteroffensive that Ukraine did, which is a part of Russia. So Ukraine actually went into Russia, started this offensive, and really what the plan was there was to get Russian troops that are in Donetsk and Kharkiv to be removed from those areas into the Kursk region and start fighting Ukrainians in Kursk. At that point, the Ukrainians would move into Donetsk and Kharkiv to kind of try to take that land back over. And that was their whole plan, was to get that annexed land back from Russia. That didn't happen. Russia did not take the bait. And what they have done is brought in at least 11,000 North Korean troops to come in and fight. So right now, Russia has the advantage. They have the upper hand. I know Vladimir Putin is probably sitting in his office just loving what's going on because he is going to be asked to go to the negotiating table with the upper hand, and Ukraine will be forced to give those annexed regions to Russia. That allows the war in Ukraine to be completed, and then it gives Putin time 5 years from now to then go back and try to take over Ukraine again, going into Kyiv. Now, on the other side of that, we have Israel's war in the Middle East, and they're fighting on multiple fronts. So they're fighting Hamas in Gaza, they're fighting Hezbollah in Lebanon, and really they're fighting Iran throughout the entire Middle East. Now, some of the Trump appointments that we have heard of, most notably Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee is, I think some people have tried to call him a Christian nationalist. So when I was growing up, I was a Southern Baptist kid. That's what my parents were. I know a lot about Mike Huckabee because he's in sort of that the same realm there. And so what I would say about Mike Huckabee is he views the book of Revelation in the Bible as the end times, as, gospel and truth, that this is coming. The only way to get to the end times and to get what they would call the rapture and the return of Jesus Christ is to have Israelis in Israel, or to have the Jewish people back in Israel, fully having that land, and then to rebuild the temple there, which the Palestinians have built into a mosque. So to me, the appointments with the Israel's Middle East wars is very pro-Israel. It is going to be supplying Israel with as much munitions and as much support as they can get, and that's probably what a Mike Huckabee type is thinking. If we get Israel in there, and if we get all the support to Israel, they can push back against the Palestinians in Gaza, in Hamas, and they can push through Hezbollah, and they can start to control all of Israel. Take Gaza, make it back to a part of Israel for the Jewish people, and then this starts this sort of end times thing. And I'm not being conspiratorial about it. It's well known that there are a lot of high level Christian leaders who have called for a full return of the Jewish people to Israel. So that's the two wars there. I'd also like to bring in the upcoming war with China. Look, I'm in meetings. I've been in conferences. I know we've had to try to schedule this because of my travels. Right now, I can tell you the U.S. military has a no later than 2027 for China's invasion of Taiwan. That's no later than. We're getting very close to that. I've had it as early as 2025, and realistically 2026 for Xi Jinping to make that demand to go into Taiwan. And the reason I'd say 2026 is because Vladimir Putin has asked for his military to end the war by 2026. You see the timelines there. Putin would close down the war in Ukraine, and then Russian troops who have just fought in a full war, they can now go and help China in a war with Taiwan that if things go the way that it's looking, it could become a global war. So what does the U.S. do? Does a Trump administration say, I don't want to start wars? I said I wasn't going to start wars, but look, China started this war and we have to defend our allies. Or is he going to go full isolationist and say, yeah, we support our allies, but that's their fight. That's not our fight.